Welcome to the Bro Banter Podcast, where camaraderie meets content in the most unfiltered way possible. Hosted by Don and Dalton, this podcast dives into the heart of today's world, blending humor, life's everyday quirks, and the kind of friendly rivalry only we can share. So, we hope you will join us. Thank you, and enjoy. And welcome back to episode 8 of the Bro Banter Podcast. What's going on,
What's
buddy?
up, guys? Not much. Another Sunday evening in the books.
Sunday evening in the books, yeah. Well,
Get on here and get one out.
Yeah, with everything going on, I don't know if it's a good Sunday. I know they got a snowstorm heading for the capital, and I guess those folks aren't going to be there tomorrow. They're already leaving town, so how they're going to certify an election, I don't know. Do you have any of that snow stuff going on in your area?
It's cold. We got some flurries, not like a blizzard, but we definitely got some of it coming down to us.
Yeah, definitely.
How you doing in your neck of the woods?
Sunny old Florida.
Sunny in 75?
No, it's like 60 something here for high, but we're going to run into a little bit of cool down next day or two. So let's get on to some of the hot topics, because you never know where the show's going to go, right? But I do want to. I'm sure we're all familiar with since our last episode, we've had the New Orleans thing pop off, and now the Cybertruck guy, but they're calling him the Cybertruck bomber, Tesla bomber. I don't know, call him what you want. But there's all kinds of conspiracies going on in that one, as to if he's terrorist or you don't forget to get that on there.
Time to get it out.
Yeah, gotta get that on. I'm
gonna hang this on the wall from episode. It'll be memorabilia. We'll blow up. I'm gonna sell it to one of y'all.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, there's tons of theories floating out there, right? First, it was he spent time he was at Fort Bragg, and then obviously they said the other guy was at Fort Bragg too, so they must have been in collusion. But I don't think that's the case. Coming out now, you have Sean Ryan with Samosaur, I think, or Samosaur Shoe on X, and he was on there, and he was letting people know that he had received some email on his email about that, and it basically stating the world's ending and whatever. And he said he kind of just dismissed it, right, because he said he gets it all the time.
Yeah.
And then that happens, and then he said he had his Signal app. Signal had changed. I don't know if you've ever had Signal instant messaging, but I guess it's kind of like what's that app that you can message somebody and it disappears after a few. Anyway, it's a I guess it's Messenger like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that thing had changed after he had allegedly it had changed after he had done, should have expired. But also, they're saying, all these people, Tim Kennedy actually said something to Sean Ryan, and even Tim Kennedy posted something on his X account, pictures of him shooting in a competition, even when he was doing a show on History Channel. He actually, the Mac guy had actually appeared on that. So I guess it caught them all off guard as to why he did this. It sounds like, one speculation is he's a whistleblower. He's blowing a whistle on these drones. He's blowing some whistle on mostly, I do believe, on some war crimes that had happened in 2019 in Afghanistan.
And this is the guy that did the Tesla?
Yeah. So they're saying that, he said he's on the run from it. And he has information on this war crime stuff. And then, the drones are some sort of, different propulsion system.
And
they're China, and they've been doing it for a while now. Which, if they're China, I don't know why in the hell we're letting them float around above our skies. But nothing's surprised me with this government, the way they do things. But interestingly, is they're on X. There's a a group called Green Beret Nap Time, and they have really, I believe it's a group of just the Green Berets, and whether they're active or I don't know, but I'm sure they're both. And man, they've been posting all kinds of stuff on there. They raise some good questions. None of this stuff makes sense. Here's a guy who is got some training, I'm sure, in explosives, and he picks a vehicle that's stainless steel, the hardest steel, one of the hardest steels out there.
Yeah.
Common sense knows, and plus he fills it with camping gas, or there looks like there was a can of VP fuel back there,
like kerosene and fireworks and shit. And it's like,
correct, yeah, and fireworks. Like, what the hell's that going to do? It's going to go straight up at that point, so it's not going to do any damage which it didn't do any damage to the Trump hotel or whatever. So was
begs
this
the
guy?
question: how much did he really have blown? Was it them just trying to get rid of him, or was it them trying to cause a scene with that? So if he really wanted to, like, I'm sure someone of that caliber and with that kind of training could make a homemade fucking bomb or a pipe bomb or something with a little more impact around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Well,
to be
he
so
can make
simple where
something
he's
better.
the only casualty, right? He was the only
Correct.
casualty. So
yeah, and then he can make something better. That's my point. He could have made, if he really wanted to do damage, he would have won. He definitely would have picked a Ford, right? Because it's aluminum body, so it would just blew right out the side. I'm just being honest here. It's aluminum body, and you pick a Chevrolet or GMC or GM, whatever. It's going to be metal. Same with Toyota and them, but he picked something with stainless steel, which the blast is not going to go out sideways. It's going to go straight up. It would have went through the bulkhead, I'm sure, into the back of the cab, which now there's video of it lighting up the cab, right? Desert Eagles in there, 50 cal. Here's my thing. There's YouTube videos of people shooting 50 cals to these doors of these things, and they just blast right on through that steel, because that stainless steel is good for like a 9mm, but it's not going to stop a 50 cal or 5.56 223. It's just not going to stop it. But yet you see no exit wound anywhere, or exit through the ceiling or glass. None of the glass. I don't know, unless it blew out of glass and the glass melted during the fire, and we just didn't know.
And when that happened, did the battery explode at any point?
No. But they said he shot himself. I don't. You could have picked yeah, I understand where people are coming from. He could have picked a better weapon. He's familiar with different platforms, 9mm, 45s. But if you want to do yourself right, you want to make sure you don't come back as a vegetable. You pick something that's going to empty the brain box, which is a Desert Eagle at that point, right? I mean, it's going to empty the brain box out, no doubt. So to me, there's one of two ways it happened. Either you go with theory one, which is the guy did it to get attention, to bring attention for some reason. Don't know why. Other than his manifesto of, war crime stuff and blah, blah. Or is this just a setup, and he's rolled a body into that thing and set it on full test drive or whatever, full self-driving mode, and sent it there with somebody in it. But there's only two plausible options. And because now they're saying that his DNA doesn't match his son's. I don't know where that come from. I haven't seen that. I've seen some stuff floating around on social media about it, but I personally have not seen anything official from anyone saying, that his DNA doesn't match, so therefore it's not him.
It's a cadaver.
It don't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. But
around that same time, didn't we hear something about like somebody else found bombs somewhere, but they never went off? Like, this world's going fucking crazy or what? Government getting set up, or they just need attention or what?
Well, you had the second thing in New Orleans, right? Where I can't remember the guy's name, but he left a cooler full of some explosives there. Now they're claiming the explosives are not your typical explosives. So, I mean, I don't know. This guy, he reached out, from what I can see on, the 29th of December, you started to reach out to him, and then on the 31st, letting them know, hey, here's my name, blah blah. I got to get with Sean Ryan, and he never does, unfortunately. But I don't know. It's they say he was a Trump supporter, so why would it don't make sense. I would get it. I'd feel more comfortable if you said that he didn't like Trump, or he didn't like Musk, and that's why he made a statement
some like
with
extreme leftist or some crazy shit.
Yeah, he made a statement with one's vehicle in front of the other's property. That would make sense to me, but it just was he secretly anti-Trump? Is that what it was? I don't know. I don't know the guy. I can only hypothesize on why he'd done it, and there's a couple of reasons why, but we don't know. He swears he's being followed by Homeland Security and FBI. Is what he was saying. And he says in his email, he says, "I'm armed and I have a massive VBID, or vehicle-borne IED."
Yeah.
You have to think, man. Well, is racing fuel and some fireworks and some camping gas a massive, vehicle-borne IED? That's not massive.
No.
Shit, you could have come up. You do that. I'm sure you could have used that battery. You could have wired something to the battery to make it massive in that truck. I don't know. Tesla says they're going to supposed to be working on getting the footage out of the vehicle, which obviously that would prove once and for all if he was in there. But I don't think you'll ever know his
Even
motive.
if they get it, I don't think they'll fucking release that.
Well, and that's the other thing. People they're criticizing the feds, and look, rightfully so. Them boobs stood up there in New Orleans and said, "This is not a terrorist attack." Well, that was wrong.
Right.
We realize that now. That was wrong. But I haven't seen anything from them on the Vegas thing. That was always the locals. So I don't know. Maybe they'll handle it differently. Hopefully a whole lot better than what the alphabet soups are. But
the Vegas thing is just crazy, right? I mean,
well, it is crazy. It's there's so much craziness in it, right? Because you have two people who did do some time on Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
Both of them, apparently. If what they're saying about the other guy in New Orleans, both of them did time on Fort Bragg. Now the Army says they never crossed paths, and that's very well possible. But then they both rent from the same rental company, the Toro or whatever it is, that rents those vehicles. How does that work? I mean, there's
something's not lining up. Some coincidences here.
There's a lot of similarities, and if they don't know each other and they have nothing to do with each other, then at that point, that's one hell of a coincidence.
Yeah,
that is one hell of a coincidence.
I mean, especially even if they knew it was true, the government likes to put things off to be in coincidences, so they don't have to answer right away. Like, oh, they never know. They don't know. Well, all those things are just freak similarities already.
Well, I don't know, man. There's just too much floating around out there. There's too much floating around, and what does he say about these drones? Are these drones? Are they really China? That's the next thing. Are they really China? If they're China, why aren't we stopping them? Why aren't we stopping them?
Well, we know if they are, why we aren't. I mean, you would hope they would still, but I mean, if Trump was in there and it was found out this is China's drone, China, then things would be blasted, or he'd be over there talking to homeboy like, "Hey, you really want to start this shit?" And
yeah,
they had respect for Trump.
Well, here's the other thing too. Just to add to that is, they say this war crime happened in 2019. That was under Trump's watch. as president. Now, not to he's responsible for everything, right? But not to say he knows about it. He wasn't direct privy to it, or he may or may not have authorized it. He may have, taken a stand. So letting his military do what they got to do.
100%.
It's crazy. We people want to complain about war crimes. Well, what war crimes are we talking about? Are we talking about waterboarding? The damn people just voted. You see that vote about how many to keep pedophiles and illegals in the country? Do you see that vote? 100 and something vote. Yeah, Democrats voted to keep them here. I mean, it obviously didn't pass. It was like I don't remember what it was, but it didn't pass. But they voted. It's like
why? So we could pay for their bills in like New York or Detroit or wherever they end up and buy them apartments.
Yeah, you don't want
to pay my mortgage.
you won't let anybody waterboard, but you want to keep pedos here or petties, right? So I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. Something's wrong, man. Something is seriously going wrong with this place. I don't know what it is yet, but
it's a coup.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know.
I mean,
quite figured it out. I don't think we ever will figure it out.
It's been heading in a downward trajectory for a hot minute now. There's a little bit of uplift. I mean, on the financial side, maybe of it, since when Trump got it, and then we kind of hit back down on the society side again. Bunch of fucking who's running around telling the local high schoolers who to like and what we should be fat of and shit like that. And in reality, the kids ain't paying bills yet, right? I mean, but these people are like, no, come vote for us. We want these people here. Freedom of speech, freedom of everything else, freedom of person. Let them come in. Let them be American. Give them a fucking bed in a fucking house and a free education. Fuck it. Throw them a gas station on the side of the road. Let them have that and have a business. Start fresh in America. But the people that are already here just get shit on and fucked. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, talking about veterans that did the stuff where we let off from, like, there's 22 veterans a day that commit suicide. We can't give them a house. Homeless veterans too. Like, we can't help them. Put them in a fucking room and board or something.
Yeah.
Give them a job. We're so adamant about helping people that aren't even from our country or give a shit about America, to be quite frank. But we won't help the ones that have actually served or fought for your country or killed someone for your country. Oh, fucking retards.
Yeah, see, I've just seen something pop up here. Got a CNN too. I can't stand CNN or whatever.
I'm gonna end up on a list after we get done with these episodes.
Huh?
Said I'm gonna end up on a list by the time we get done with these episodes.
Yeah. Hopefully not to. Never know.
Be all right.
Let me just. So here's this. Let me see.
Ooh, we got footages.
Yeah, footage later shows the moment explosives were detonated, causing the truck
fireworks
to explode outside the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas.
You can see the guy in there, right? You can see him.
Yeah.
You can see his face right there. See that?
Is he alive at that point?
Footage later shows the.
Well, I don't know.
You think if he shot himself with a 50 cal, he wouldn't be sitting upright like that, right? He slumped over, head against the dashboard or something.
Dude, I don't know.
I mean, I've seen the impact of a 50 cal on a flesh. It doesn't seem like they. I don't know. If you shot yourself in the head with a 50 cal, I don't think you're gonna be sitting up like this, waiting for the fucking explosion.
No, but let me ask you this though.
I've seen on MythBusters.
Yeah, we need MythBusters. What if, and I'm just throwing it out, what if he took a propane tank and he kind of filled it off in that thing, just let it just piss out, right? And then he's still alive here. He waited, like if he really wanted to make sure it went, he waited till he started to burn or before he would go unconscious with pain or whatever. And that's when he decided to off himself.
Yeah.
I mean, right there, he's just starting to get engulfed in flames. just starting to get engulfed in flames.
Footage later shows the moment explosives detonated, causing the truck to
I'm kind of wondering, dude, if that thing wasn't full of propane or natural gas. Well,
explode outside the Trump International Hotel.
I will say propane.
Hotel in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I will say propane. I'm kind of wondering if it was not full of propane. If that cab did not fill up with propane, and then it went off whenever he pulled the trigger. You know,
I could see it.
Or he just I don't know, man. It's maybe he set it off.
Was there an exit from the gun? Like if you shot sideways, did it come out the window or the roof, or
no?
If you shot underneath, because a 50 cal isn't going to stop in your head.
No, it's not. You would think, yeah, and the roof is glass, so the glass is through heat, and I don't know what type of glass they got, but it's going to melt. It's going to turn right back to, sand, if you will. Yeah, it's I don't know.
Makes me wonder.
It does make you wonder. How did he have?
Even if you did it like this, it would come through the roof, sideways through the side window. Like it would go through the back window. I don't know, because it's not going to stop in your head. It's going to have an exit, and it's probably going to keep going with some velocity to it. I don't know.
Yep. And the other thing is he it's very well possible that he could have lit it, ignited, pulled the trigger on it, blew it up, and then when he got to a point where he knew before he passed out the pain or whatever, he just offed himself at that point after it was already engulfed in flames on the inside. Yeah. And that heat would have just been going and going and going and going, right? So you wouldn't see it because the glass is going to melt. The glass
makes you wonder though, because if he wanted to like hurt people, he would have done a lot bigger, right? I guess some fireworks, some fire, the car kind of gets fucked up, he's dead. But like I don't think he went there with like malintent to like injure, kill people, and it wasn't like the Oklahoma City bombing.
No.
Because he could have went there with shit like that, and you see what it did, leveled like a fucking building. So I don't think his intent was to take out people. I think it was just hey, look at me. Y'all need to look into this shit, retards, because no one's listening and they're trying to kill me. Maybe.
Well, yeah.
Tin hat on.
Well, dude, I'm telling you, there's so many things that just do not tally in there. It just doesn't jive. If he didn't like them, if he didn't like, Trump or Musk, dude, that would seal a deal, right?
Yeah.
That's why he did it in Tesla. That's why he went to a Trump property. That explains it.
At least that makes sense. 2 and 2 equals 4 there.
Correct. That explains it. But they say he wasn't anti-Trump. Okay, well, let's just say we don't know. He don't know. Then what would he be? Why would he be pissed off at Trump for? That's the other thing.
Maybe he was just trying to say, "Hey, Trump,
maybe
I'm here. Look at me."
Well, yeah, maybe he's trying to draw attention. Maybe he's mad at Trump for the 2019, war crimes. I mean, that's always possible, I guess, right?
My allergies go.
There's so many things that just doesn't make sense in the deal, man.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't make sense. So, moving on to, and I'm sure we'll come back to that if something pops up, but Michael J. Fox. You see Michael J. Fox receives the Presidential Medal of Honor, whatever it is.
Really?
Yeah, you can see that?
Wow.
Or Medal of Freedom. Sorry, not Medal of Honor. Sorry.
I was about to say, what the hell did he do for the Medal of Honor? That's why I was like, huh?
Yeah. I apologize. Not to I probably just pissed a lot of people off with that one. didn't mean to do that one because I didn't mean to disgrace anything, but
they'll get over it.
I was reading something else, but yeah, let me share, because he actually he got it, and which that one I can see.
It's like a Parkinson's award. That's fucked up. I'm sorry.
So here he is. He's God, dude was a star back in the day, wasn't he?
Right.
J. Fox.
Back in Teen Wolf, dude.
Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf was the shit. Good for him.
Yeah, he did.
Did Joe Biden just try to sniff him?
Did he really?
Did he? Looked like.
The Medal of Freedom is awarded to Michael J. Fox.
Did he? Seriously?
Look.
Let me
see. Look.
Oh.
Was he trying to get a whip? You see Michael leaned away? Why is he getting his...
Let's see if it's Pantene. I don't know, dude. Nah, he might have been famous. Poor guy. Crazy.
Good for him.
Did you see the one? Now, somebody, I don't know who did it, but have you seen the one where Hillary gets it and she turns and then turns into like the devil and starts throwing fire out?
Oh,
God.
Was it like an edit?
Oh, dude, it's AI. The AI is so out of control. I don't know where people are getting it from, but let me see. Let's see if we can find this thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Dude, whoever did it did a phenomenal job on it. That's all I'm going to say. If I can stop fat fingering it. So, oh, come on. Oh, I misspelled it, didn't I? That was stupid. You probably find it faster than me. Let's see. I don't know what she received it for. Denzel Washington also received one.
Huh.
If I could spell it right, I don't know how I keep messing that up. I don't know. Well, shit on it. I'll find it in a minute. So yeah, she receives the medal, and she turns, and fire. Dude, God, I gotta find it. It's so perfect. It's so perfect. Maybe I just put in her full name, huh? Let's see what we have here. No, Benghazi. How does Benghazi pull up? I don't understand that.
Hillary, Benghazi. Makes sense.
Well, Benghazi's been a little on fire lately, too, so. Oh, come on. I don't think I'm going to find it again. I'm going to try to find it. I don't think I am, though. No, that's not it. Come on, man. They say Magic Johnson? Magic Johnson received one?
Is he handing them out like candy now?
He's got a lot, dude. Yeah, he's got a lot in there. He's got a lot. Let me see if I can type it this way.
Good old Hillary.
No, I'm not going to find it. Of course not. Dude, I wish I could find that thing. It was so great.
Good old Hillary. Great. Donald Trump just wins elections versus women all the time.
How ironic is it that tomorrow they have to certify the election and Kamala's got to go and certify her loss, huh?
There you go.
That's great there. She'd be hating life. Still haven't heard nothing from her. I don't know where she's at. Yeah. Don't know where she's
just a VP now. She's not the candidate. She didn't win. They don't care about her.
They're out of control. George Soros got a medal too, by the way.
Same thing happened with Hillary. She lost, kind of disappeared into the wayside.
Yeah, she definitely lost. She's who knows where she's at. Obviously, she's still here because she was just up there getting the medal the other day. Yeah. Man, it's terrible. Where'd that thing go? I don't know. Anyway. Crazy, man. Wish I could. I don't know what she got a medal for.
Saw something in the right before the election, the mystery disease outbreak in China overwhelms hospitals and chilling echo of COVID dark days.
Where you see that at?
Saw it run across the other day, and I just looked it up. They're just talking about how it's like COVID-esque, another run-through virus. The Chinese CDC, the rates of multiple flu-like illnesses are on the rise by 12%, and it's overflowing hospitals in China and slowly hitting EU right now, or Europe.
Really?
I mean, you got to give them another epidemic to deal with. Otherwise, it's going to be no fun for Trump to get to be president.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do. He's got his hands full. He's got.
And he talks a big game, so he's got to. People are going to be waiting at the foot of the bed, just waiting to get fed. Just, what you got for us today, Trump? You gonna mess up? You gonna F up? You gonna say something mean on Twitter? You gonna do what you said? Just waiting for the man to fail, which is crazy.
What can you do? They say he's only got time to squeeze through a couple of bills because they'll just sit there and block this, block that, take a day off, and it's they'll just stonewall it. They'll stonewall it, and try to get as much done and get as little as possible through. But they're all creatures up there, man. They really need to do tax reform big time. Got to do tax reform. Have to do tax reform. That's one thing that's killing this country. People they say inflation, and inflation doesn't help, but Ronald Reagan said it best years ago when he was running. Well, I think it was Johnny Carson. He mentioned the government gets half of every dollar that you make, and it's right. And he said they want to tax corporations, and corporations add that tax to the product. So people, listen to me. It really doesn't work. Think about it. If a company makes $1 million, say, of products a year, and they sell those products for, $1, that means they make $1 million. But you put a tax on it, and let's just say 7% tax, $1.07, right? So, you're talking for $1 million. You're talking what, $70,000 off $1 million or whatever it is. But that tax. They keep taxing and keep adding.
Taxation is theft. I don't give a shit.
Tax the rich, tax the corporate tax. And, if it's $5, it used to be $5, and now you're paying, $5.07, which is $5.35, and they got to offset that cost, for that product. And they're going to pass that cost on to you because they're going to charge for that tax, right? So they got to pay for that tax. So if they know they're going to be out, and I'm just saying, 7% on $5 is 35 cents. And if they sell, how many of them, they're going to pass that right into it. They're going to put it into the price of it. So no longer is it costing $5, it's $1 because they had to put the tax onto it. And then you got inflation, which drives up fuel. So now the truck drivers and all that stuff, shipping and cost is another $1. So now it's $7 for something that used to pay $5. So it's not just inflation.
I mean, look at like a double cheeseburger from McDonald's on the dollar menu back in 2001, 2002. Now it's like $3.18 for the same exact burger.
Really?
Yeah.
It used to be like $1, $1. Yeah. But that's what happens. You taxed corporate, and if they got to pay, let's say they're being
they got to make those losses up somewhere.
Yeah. They're not going to take a loss, man. People got to realize this. Now, the boobs in D.C., they have to know it, but they don't care. Because if they raise that product $2 to offset the cost, because they don't want to pay the taxes. They're paying $1 million in taxes, then they're going to pass that $1 million onto that product. So if they're making $1 million but paying $1 million, they're going to charge you $2 for that product when it was $1. So now it's $2. and then you tax on the tax, which would have been 7%. You were paying $1.07. Now you're paying $2.14 for it. And then that's not even touching the inflation of the cost of fuel and everything to get it here. That's why we moved it to China, right? Was cut the labor down. It's not about raising, pay is high. People make good money nowadays. So it's not that. Every time we raise the wage, the cost of living goes up even higher. So we always stay at this gap. It never, ever equals out. It stays like freaking this. The shit never moves, and it goes up together like this. We got to stop, man. They got to stop the taxation bullshit. They got to get rid of the taxes. You get rid of taxes, the cost of stuff will come down. And at some point, you're going to do this. What you're making is higher than, and they do not want you to do it. They
would die over if that happened.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, because in these pieces of shit up there, they vote. The more money they make off of us in taxes and corporate tax and tax here and tax this and tax this and tax this, they make more money. Every fucking year they vote to give themselves a raise. Every year, year after year, raise. We want to raise. Oh, let's raise them. We got the money because we're getting it off of you. It's got to stop, man. They've got to stop the shit. It's got to. It has to stop. That's what he needs to concentrate on. He needs to concentrate on that damn taxes.
Get rid of property tax. I already bought the fucking property. Why do I have to pay you to own it?
Well, that's another thing, right?
Why do I have to pay you to own the property I already paid for?
You never really own your property.
It's fucking retarded.
Do you? At the end of the day, you never own your property. Because if you buy it outright and pay cash for it, you still have to pay taxes. So you can own $1 million property. If your taxes are $6,000 a year, don't pay that shit. Don't pay it for a year or two. Watch what happens.
See what happens. Yeah.
The county will sell your shit at auction. They will sell your shit at auction. And depending on what it is, you may owe $20,000 in taxes, and they may get, $1 million home. They may get $1 million. Well, of course, they make you feel good. Well, we'll deduct the taxes and give you the rest. So, we got your tax for $100,000, so we'll give you $900,000. That's bullshit. See, they're taking it. They're taking it from you at that point. And I'm for regulation to a point. There has to be regulations for safety and things that health and stuff like that. But if you own a home and you're old and you're on Social Security or whatever, you're retired. You put your money in. They shouldn't be taxing you on the IRS or on your Social Security. Sorry, they should not be taxing you because you've paid tax on that shit. You shouldn't be taxed again, and they shouldn't be taxing your property. So you're right. Your tax on your property should not be happening when you reach the age of 60, whatever, 62 and a half, 63, or whatever retirement age is. Put it to that. Attach it to the age retirement, and then the taxes stop. There is no taxes. And
also like cars, right? You buy a car, pay it off. And you got to tag it. I get it. Tag it. After you tag it, you have to keep up registration on it every year. Why can't that just be like, all right, my car's done. It's registered. What do you need to, it's not like we go through inspections every year. It's not like you're verifying my car is still suitable to ride on the road. You just want my money. I go in there, I get a sticker that says New Year, and then you move on. You just take $50, $60 and move on. For what? What the fuck is it really doing? What is a registration?
But that's not a constitutional right. See, that's the thing.
Okay, but it's still a way for them to make some money off of you.
Oh, no, 100%.
What are you going to do, hoof it everywhere?
The state makes money off it. It's called a privilege, right? So a driver's license is a privilege. A car to drive is a privilege. There's nothing that says you have to have it. Hell, if you had a horse and buggy, they'd probably try to tax you on the, I don't know, they have a toll road or something. You can scoot on through with old trigger there, and throw the gold piece in the thing. Dude, if they can find a way to make it, they're going to make it. It's everybody wants a piece of the action. Everybody.
Problem is, you got people that work every day for 60 years straight, right?
Yeah.
And the whole time they're just paying probably 30-40% of their yearly wages, overall gross income, to the government, and you'll never see it back. Everybody's like, well, you get taxes. Well, if you make enough money, you don't even get taxes. You got to pay them more money just for making money. So
there's two ways you can live, right? You can either be the person that budgets and lives by a budget and within your means to budget, or you could be the person who doesn't want to budget and just make enough money so you don't have to worry about budgeting. And whichever one you want to be, it doesn't matter. They're going to get you. But the one who's not budgeting and trying to make more money, the other one's getting screwed because they're going to get hit harder and harder and harder and harder. That's the one they're taking more and more money from. And what's even worse, if you're married, you file jointly, right? So you make $60,000 a year. She makes $60,000 a year. She's taxing her 60. You're taxed on your 60. Then they put it together. It's 120. And they tax you together for it.
Yeah. See, guys, this is what you get when you come watch this show. We went from car bombings to pedestrian runovers to taxation is theft to wherever it might lead.
Is it that, or is it we just talk about the real life stuff? Is that what it is? Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm talking about. The real life stuff. The stuff that happens every day. The stuff that, matters to all of us. We can talk about the bomber guy, but that takes time. Man. It's an open investigation. They're not going to...
It's a developing story, so...
Correct. They're not going to share it with you, and rightfully so. People get mad. Oh, they should be telling us. No, they shouldn't. It's a freaking investigation, man. If you give the information out there and there's other parties involved, now they're a leg up on you. They're ahead of you. They're 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps ahead of you. And in an investigation, you don't want to be behind. You want to be ahead at the end of the day. And that's people don't understand that, but they'll get used to it. So, well, no, I shouldn't say they won't get used to it. I'm used to it, but they won't criticize. But you got to there's always those people that criticize. They're always thinking something shady's going on. 10 full hat people. I know you do it just for fun, but there are those.
I do have some conspiracy theories, but I'm not like off the chain with it. Some of these guys are just, you done lost your damn marbles, buddy. That rabbit's left the coop a long time ago.
Is it?
A little wild, some of them.
Well, I don't know, man. I typically don't worry about it myself. I try to worry about the things that I can, and change the things I can, and not going to worry about the rest of it. It's
100%.
It's pointless to me at that point. I just control what I can within my realm, if you will, for me. So, yeah. But anyway, got anything else you want to talk about, topic-wise?
No, I mean, we touched a bunch of good stuff. And like I said, we'll hit back on it. More stuff as it develops and stuff comes out. And more we'll know about it and figure out the cause, reason, maybe we'll never know why. They'll keep that under lock and key. We don't know. We'll see.
Well, that's going to it's going to be interesting because he does name off people into that thing, like a DEA agent and stuff like that.
They got his manifesto, right?
Yeah. You can. I tell you, anybody, watch that Sean Ryan show. I don't know if I'm not a promoter of anybody, but I know people are giving the Sam Sauer guy a bunch of grief. There, one guy's out there picking him apart, saying, "Oh, you were tossed out or you were let go, whatever."
Yeah.
I don't know. We do know that the guy reached out to him. That is a fact. He's got the stuff that shows the fact. Now, some people are asking to see, but he's got a screenshot. Sean Ryan said he did. They scrubbed theirs, and he kind of found he did reach out to them, obviously. So the guy was trying to get onto the show to talk about some stuff and probably leak some stuff. Now, I don't know. Maybe he sent somebody something. Maybe he's got something. I find it hard to believe that
he sent a USB stick to someone in a lockbox.
Someone, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he's got it somewhere. Going
another whistleblower that's willing to pull the trigger when they think the time is right.
Yeah,
it's gonna be some fucked and crazy situation, but maybe it's not. Maybe it was just dude done lost his marbles and had enough of it. We never know.
Well, people are also saying. What do they say? That they find it weird that his military ID didn't, burn up, or his passport didn't burn up, and how'd they all survive? Well, heat rises, right? So I'm not a fire person, but I'm sure if it was on the low, in the floorboard, it's very well possible that thing could have survived just like that. It would have been somewhat warped and melted, but I found a picture of the car.
Yeah, propane burns off fast too.
So I can say one thing. You got to give the test of this credit, dude. Tires still look aired up and the damn headlights still working.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Now, but this answers the question that we were talking about earlier about, the glass. Gone.
Yeah.
It just melted right on out. But look at it, man. Look at this. Sides still intact. No damage anywhere. It's all panels. Look at this. I don't know if it's a foundation series. Is it just a foundation that's built this sturdy? Or is it
right.
Is it all of them? When the cheaper version comes out, and then here's the So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I'll say that.
As I said, time will tell.
Yeah, and here's a screenshot someone took, I guess, over Sean Ryan. This is a manifesto. He talks about, the drones and things of that nature. I don't understand it. I don't know how the drones can be here and we not do anything about that. That's just beyond me. I don't know. Either way. Well, yeah, I think we've about covered everything we can cover, huh? What do you think?
Yep. Also, guys, if you're watching, I know that's last time we talked about the cryptids show. We're working on trying to get 3 adults with jobs in the same call to get that show on the road, but we are working at that. That will be coming.
Wait, we're adults?
I
have
thought
jobs?
So. I know I have a job. I don't know about the adult part. It just sounded good for TV.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that. We're adults. Yeah, I don't know about the job part. Do we work or do we work? I don't know. That's a question. Never know. On that note, see y'all on the next one. Later.
Later, dude.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And please remember to like, subscribe, and share. You may find us on X, the Bro Banter Podcast, or on YouTube. Thanks, and God bless.